Nah, dude, this ain't it. This really is not it, because we have ourselves some commentary to go out there and talk about from Vancouver Canucks goal-scoring stud, Brock Boeser. The Canucks play off against an apparently Nathan MacKinnon-less Colorado Avalanche later today. I don't know, man. He's got to go out there and try to hold off Nikita Kucherov for the Art Ross as the season comes to an end. So who knows? Vancouver playing off against a MacKinnon-less Avs team. We'll see what happens, but that is not the topic of today's video. Today we are going over what Brock Boeser said to Sportsnet's Ian McIntyre in a piece that was published earlier this morning. Because essentially, Brock Boeser just might have confirmed that he could be leaving the Canucks. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if I hit the point hard enough with that sentence. Maybe more like Brock Boeser confirms that he's probably not coming back to the Canucks. Is that a more accurate way to describe it? Let's go out there and read this piece on sportsnet.ca. It hurts. The Canucks missing the playoffs is a result of misfortune and mistakes. IMAC is, of course, one of the best in the business, and this article of his will be linked in the description to go out there and read yourself. It's an interview with Brock Boeser. Let's go out there and read some of these comments. The article talks about the Canucks losing out in the playoff race because of Minnesota's win over San Jose. I think it should say 8-7 win, not 7-6 win, right? Yeah, slight oversight there by IMAC. The article says Minnesota's 7-6 OT win over San Jose. It's not 7-6, 8-7. Boeser says it hurts. We wanted to be in the playoffs again so bad. If you get in, you never know what can happen. We were playing some good hockey when we had everyone in the lineup, and then we ran into more injury problems. We've had the distractions this year and injuries throughout the lineup all year. Yeah, it's been a rough year, but there's no excuses. We didn't win hockey games when we were supposed to. Man, that Aquilini mentality really does bleed through the whole organization, doesn't it? When you get into the playoffs, you never know what can happen. Anything can happen as long as you make the playoffs. Even as an 8th seed, you could go out there and defeat everybody. I know it's not necessarily wrong because, for example, 2012 LA Kings, 8th seed, ends up defeating Vancouver handily and then winning the Stanley Cup in that year. It happens, but of course the anything can happen mentality has been memed on in this city for quite some time in some sort of a way to parody the sentiments from Francesco Aquilini, which puts the organization towards making decisions that benefit the short term rather than the longer term. Decisions that also sacrifice the long term by prospects and picks and stuff. Oh, anything can happen if you just make the playoffs. Let's continue on with this commentary from Brock Boeser. The article goes out there and talks about the end for Boeser. After 550 games for the Canucks over the last 8 seasons, these are the likely final 4 games for Boeser, the free agent eligible winger who has been with the team since scoring in his debut straight out of college on March 25th, 2017. That was 8 years ago, bruh. That's crazy. There has been little traction and contract discussions between agent Ben Hankinson and Alvin, who listened to trade offers on Boeser at the NHL deadline a month ago, but said other teams didn't show much interest in the 28-year-old from Minnesota. Boeser said before the Dallas game on Tuesday that he does not expect to remain with the Canucks. Honestly, it's unlikely at this point, he told us. It sucks. It's unfortunate. I'm just trying to play good hockey, and then I'll worry about everything after that. We all know it's been a roller coaster of a year. There's been a lot of different things. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. The question is, do you see yourself coming back, or do you see yourself re-signing? Something to that effect. And Boeser's response is, honestly, it's unlikely at this point. Oh my gosh. Now, I don't know if the question here that IMAC asked towards Boeser was something along the lines of, oh, do you expect to re-sign with Vancouver before free agency, or do you expect something to get done before the draft? It's just whether or not he expects to be coming back, remaining with the team. It seems like it's unlikely at this point, Brock says. When was the last time a player straight up said in the media that he doesn't think he's going to re-sign with the team that he is on? With 4 games left in the season, nonetheless. I mean, there have been many situations in the past where you know that guys are not going to re-sign just because of the vibes, just because of the commentary and the reading between the lines. But this is like, hey, Brock is literally saying verbatim, directly, bluntly, no strings attached, no reading between the lines. He just straight up says, yeah, it's unlikely that I come back to the Canucks at this point. What the hell, dude? Is this a negotiation tactic? Is this him trying to plead to Patrik Allvin publicly? Hey, please sign me. Please give me a contract. I just want to stay. Is this Brock going out there and sending a message to his agent? Why would he need to do that? Can't he just talk to his agent on speed dial? Well, this is where we get back into the article. After struggling for long stretches this season amid the distractions, Boeser said he won't even talk to his agent until after the season. Yeah, I'm refusing to talk to Hank right now, Boeser said. I feel like I'm playing a lot better hockey recently, and I don't want to get distracted. That's one of the things I've learned. When there's distractions, I don't play my best hockey. The mental aspect of the game is so important. This year, there have been a lot of distractions. And that might even be more bizarre than what we had just seen. Boeser saying that it's unlikely he comes back. He's not even talking to his agent? Bruh, he's admitting that he's not talking to his agent? What in the world? Oh man, distractions. Talk about distractions, man. JT Miller, Elias Pettersson, all the injuries, Thatcher Demko getting hurt constantly. Tons of distractions this year. Totally the opposite from what we had seen last year when Brock was a 40-goal guy and he scored all these clutch goals and last-second goals to send the game to overtime. Heck, he did that this year, but still, Brock did go through an extended stretch this season where he was not as effective as we expect him to be. Even in a year where he's so wishy-washy up and down, he still ends up with 25-plus goals, which I think is pretty good, all things considered. But you also have to think about it like, hey, there are some other guys like Pius Suter, 20-plus goals in a year where he was just so amazing. That also goes into whether or not some of these guys come back too, I would say. But getting back over to Brock, this is where he goes out there and says this. We look back at times this season where we struggled as a team, and if we were just a little better, we'd be in the hunt right now. It's frustrating. That might just encapsulate some of the entire sentiment that Canucks fans feel as well. If they were just better. If Miller and Pettersson just didn't fight. If the injuries just didn't strike as much as they did. If the Vancouver Canucks could have made the playoffs. And now we're looking at Brock Boeser saying that it's unlikely he sticks around. Are those two things connected? I wouldn't necessarily say so. I think a good chunk of it happens to do with Patrik Allvin and Jim Rutherford. They went out there and re-signed Marcus Pettersson, re-signed Drew O'Connor, re-signed Kevin Lankinen. They re-signed a bunch of dudes, and then they completely ignored Brock Boeser. Oh, they gave him a contract offer. Yeah, it was an offer he didn't like. Oh boy. What a great time to be a Vancouver Canucks fan. Yeah, baby! The Canucks play off against the Colorado Avalanche later today, so we'll see what happens in that game. Post-game's probably going to come a little bit later because I do have hockey myself. I have to go and miss out on the third period of the Canucks and Avs game, and then I'll make a video about it after I'm done. It'll probably be a lot later, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this commentary topic right here. We'll talk about Colorado, Vancouver later, but for now, what are your thoughts on Brock Boeser? Oh boy, the guy could be leaving here soon, and he's gone out there and talked about it in the media. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. 9, and bye.